समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा.
So at the level of linear play and this exploration of Dakshinayana that we've been on, we are really at this pivotal turning point. We sensed as such. Of course, context. We're exploring the nature of consciousness at the level of its relative play, linearity, and that time, space, and reality. So we look at the annual cycle at this point. So there's something really kind of simmering in the field. I felt called to make this video because right now, where we find ourselves, is a prime opportunity for us, the way the energies are moving. As we know, at the level of consciousness that which we are, right, there are two aspects, two ways to explore. One, of course, we know is that unchanging awareness, which is the non-dual aspect of it, as we say, right, Purusha. And at the level of Prakriti, that is energy, that is the sensing quality of it. That's one way, that's Shakti's way, as we may say. So when we explore that, it's really being intimate with what arises even at the relative level. Right, of course, if you're standing as simply as awareness, then it's all timeless, it's all in the moment, and that sharpness of the awareness itself allows for what is unfolding. So it's that one way of being, one would say, right, completely. And then, of course, that can be seen as the Jnana way, that can also be seen as the masculine way, and this can be seen as the feminine way. It's a more tantric way. It's being in touch, intimate with the body, because the body is the divine tool. Right? So at that level, when we see this week that is coming up, so what is simmering right now is we just finished Ganesh Chaturthi, right? In India, we celebrate Ganesha's birthday. Right? Of course, at the level of form, he's seen like a deity, right? A god that we pray to, the elephant-headed god with the pot belly and all of that. But this energy is a symbol, and he is the guardian for the root chakra. So for the days coming ahead, we are moving through a major root chakra activation. As we know, we're exploring this even if we look at the yearly cycle of the years of 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, kind of trickling down to even 30, we may say. Right? It's like literally fully stepping into the golden age, stepping into the age of Aquarius, stepping into that new, truer self, right? Stepping into Sophia, Christ consciousness, whatever different words we may have, Treta and Satyuga, right? At the collective level, I'm seeing that we'll really see that shift. It's beautifully happening. It's already happening. So, at the linearly speaking, as awareness, we've already been there. So, this Ganesh Chaturthi is like so pivotal, so powerful. And you know, whenever we speak about the root chakra, really, the root chakra, Mooladhara, we call it, is everything, right? It's the source at the level of the tangible experience that we are having as consciousness. Our Mooladhara, our root chakra, is the source. And all that is experienced, because it's all phenomena, right? It's all phenomena. So the way the energies move is how consciousness experiences itself. The importance of the Muladhara, the way that it is vibrating, instantly determines the identity or the kshetra, or the playground that consciousness is going to experience. So when that is kind of constricted, there are a flavor of experiences. The identity then, vibration is at a denser level. So the play of Kali Yuga, state of consciousness, right? Absolutely very little awareness, so we move as reactivity. And then Dwapar Yuga, right? Even if we are aware, but our identity still is so linked to our five sensory system and at the level of the body. That is the I identity, right? Within which we move. All determined by the Muladhara. So anything else can change, but if the Muladhara is still constricted, resistant, the energy that is moving through that, right, is going to experience itself at that limit itself. All simply phenomena. So it can be very helpful to know that at this time, and this is what was coming up, we are really moving through kind of, one may say, like the tail end, And as we know, whenever there is a momentum to something, When it's the tail end, like if you've seen water gushing down like a sinkhole, right, down the drain, like at the tail end when it moves through, it's like the momentum is so fast, it's like a quickening, right? Everything seems to rush in, and that's exactly what's happening. So a couple of questions that were coming through, it's like, just the whether it's the inner mind storm or whether we find ourselves in a situation or circumstance, we might find ourselves in that storm. That storm is nothing but Samudra Manthan, right? You can go ahead and watch, kind of share that in detail. Also in the Hara video, Hara Chakra, which is the previous one, right? So it's like really moving. And what is that? That is actually the last of the momentum where the limited beliefs, limited idea, or what one may call at the linear level, the karmic imprints of the separate self is actually dissolving. Yeah? The invitation at that point really is to stand in the center, in the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is the most quietest place. The eye of the storm is the I, identity, and it is in the center, and that means it is timeless. If we use our thinking mind, it will only reflect back to us the conditions that it is aware of, which is of the Dwapar Yuga state of body-mind world. And we'll get swept up. To stay in the center, the I, what is that I? That is peaceful, that is steady, is empty. That's the call, to stand in the center. And that means be timeless. And what does that mean? Right, for us who are going through the Dwapar Yuga, I think, what does that really mean? To make it practical, right? Take every moment as it arises. Don't be too concerned with the past or the future. See the nature of the mind that thinks about the past. Yeah? As if connecting dots. That's not how consciousness is. That's the play as the linear mind we connect. There is no past, there is no future. And whatever arrives as a past and future arrives only in the now moment. This is the invitation to really kind of come in the center. Yeah. That this now moment, which deeply, if you go deeper, it's nothing but the I am awareness, right? Only that's the only place where we are conscious, right? And present as presence. Right? We're very capable of taking care of whatever comes up in that space. Right? We're very capable. This is kind of can be sensed as simplifying everything, because the mind that runs as the past, future, right, it dances all the flavors of the separate self. is important at this time, that's why, is that we are at this final thing and stand in the center. And what that means is really trust, have faith. Because it really helps, for all of us. Because this living tree of life is like a tree where every flower is blossoming at its own divine time. We can kind of sense into that. So when it can be very helpful to kind of sense into everything, of course, to do with what resonates, right? For somebody who's gone through this, and then that can be very helpful. That kind of guidance sometimes can be very helpful. So in that context, it's really being shared that really, trust. The quickening and the storm only comes when we are done with an experience, that comfort zone. And consciousness now is moving to its truer self. So it has to release. It's unbecoming. Of course, that which we are ultimately does not become or doesn't unbecome. But at the level of relative play also, right? So it's where we are unbecoming. So that's why this time is really, really about, and we'll see that in nature, right? If we sense nature as an outer thing, letting go. And that means allowing. That means acceptance. Root chakra, Ganapati, Ganesha is all about that. Because it's a constriction of the root chakra. That's resistance. And that's an automatic phenomena when we are moving as a Dwapara Yuga state of mind. Because we don't see. Or rather, what we see, we don't deeply sense. That's what I mean by seeing, right? So we don't see because it's only the five senses that see at the gross level. So naturally, life as consciousness moves as that, right? Everything is automatic, like set up. So it's constricted. So it's resistant, right? So it plays that game of doer, efforting, all of that. When we allow, then we are at peace. We allow for everything. And in that allowance, in that peace, this is open. And when we are open, that allows for higher perception. That allows for discernment. Another thing that I want to quickly mention, because this was coming up so much at this time, because we are moving through this karmic thing. Again, this karmic thing that we speak about is only when we are exploring it at the linear level. Okay, I want to name that. It's the one who's standing as the self-aware presence, absolutely moving as that. You can literally say it's timeless karma. There's no karma, not the way that we understand it. That's not what it is. really the nature of consciousness is that everything is spontaneously arising in the moment here. We've set that up as consciousness. Right? Only when we look through the lens of the Dwapar Yuga, it looks like there's a past or there's something outside of my awareness. It's not like that, it's right here. Right? So if that is there, we can give our full attention when we know this. Right? When we know this, all our job or our duty, one may say, right? There's no duty ultimately. It's simply awareness is like a love. It's presence, awareness, full attention to what is arising in this moment here. Just that, just that. That's it. So this was like really coming up because we are going through that. And I want to name something, right? Because of this, if we look at the way consciousness moves, many ways to look at it, right? It's like the swirl, right? Again, that's the swirl one can say is this vortex, right? Every identity is like that experience of a vortex. We stand in the center. Broader perspective, it's actually like the toroidal thing. Right? So it's like consciousness experiences an identity which is a loop, and only when we accept and we see and we dissolve, surrender, that's what's called surrender, right? Surrender, rather lose yourself to the mind that insists. That's the winning game actually. That's the winning game. If you fight with it, whether you love it or whether you fight with it, as long as your awareness is what gives life. If you're aware of it, it'll entangle you. That's all it is. Every state of consciousness is about that. Right? So when you're done playing with it, when you surrender, is you allow everything to be. Kind of really, for the Dwapar Yuga state of mind, it kind of really can be sensed as if losing to it. Right? And that Dwapar Yuga mind, doesn't like to lose. It wants to be right. Right? It wants to state something. So that's how we keep ourselves entangled in that. You kind of see that pattern. I won't go into that much, but it's like this toroidal. So that toroidal thing is like the infinity 8 shape, right? So you really see that when you dissolve into it, that's when the next play begins. And that is why the teaching of non-duality, or rather being self-aware, is that you just don't identify with the ever-changing thing. That's where it comes from, but it needs to be completely understood. Otherwise, it's like this conceptual understanding, right? Of kind of being separate from life, kind of holding. But when you're there in the center, what does that mean? Fully engaged with what is arising in the center. Absolutely engaged. But your response arises from the timeless emptiness that you are. Not from the concepts of the mind. Right? That only see from its limited perception. So that's our only work, to be self-aware and to stand in the center. And with Ganesh Chaturthi, right, I want to really share. It's no coincidence that it comes during this time, which is the 8th and the 9th month. Because if you look at the number 8, which is the infinity sign, in so many ways is a sign of completion. One cycle is over and the next begins. That is why the number 8, Ashta, we say. Now, Ashta is the symbol also for abundance. Every time we come into this 8, Ashta sign, it is waking up to the abundance that we are. It's not outside of us. That's true abundance. To really know that all of life, all of reality that is experienced is simply pure experience. Right? And what determines the experience is the nature of mind. And the nature of mind is the sensing quality. Right? So as we unbecome and we sense deeper beyond even what the 5 senses, right? We're not dependent on the 5 senses anymore. It's the 6th, 7th and even deeper sensing quality, right? The more timeless we become, that sensing quality. That is what has us know that I am the abundance.
सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु विष्णुमायेति शक्तिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु चैतन्यविधीयते नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः।
भूषण ह्रीङ्कार प्रिय ईश शिव गौरसलालित अन्तकनाशन गौरी समेत गिरीश शिव अम्बरवास चिदम्बर नायक तुम्बुरु नारद सेव्य शिव आहार प्रिय अष्टदिगीश्वर योगी हृदि प्रिय वास शिव
It's the beginning of a new cycle. So that's why energy is really moving so fast at this time. And when we know this, right, even if we know this conceptually, it can help one be very steady in the center. Allow it to build faith. This was the power of Ganesha. You know, the word Ganesha itself is Gana Isha. Gana literally means, you can say like a tribe, like a kind. Consciousness as form, a type of form, a kind. So in ours, we can say it's the human experience. He's the Isha, right, the leader. Ganapati, that's why we say. Because the root chakra, right? He's elephant, that's why he's steady. Steady.
सोमाय रुद्राय महाग्रासाय हेतवे प्रपद्येऽहं विरूपाक्षं शरण्यं ब्रह्मचारिणं महादेवं महायोगम् ईशानं त्वम्बिकापतिं योगिनां योगदातारं योगमाया समावृतम् महेश्वराय नमः वामदेवाय नमः त्रिलोकेशाय नमः परमेश्वराय नमः शितिकण्ठाय नमः विरूपाक्षाय नमः दिगम्बराय नमः महादेवाय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः वीरभद्राय नमः कारकाराय नमः मृत्युञ्जयाय नमः विश्वेश्वराय नमः त्रिपुरान्तकाय नमः जटाधराय नमः सदाशिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः नमः सोमाय रुद्राय महाग्रासाय हेतवे प्रपद्येऽहं विरूपाक्षं शरण्यं ब्रह्मचारिणं महादेवं महायोगम् ईशानं त्वम्बिकापतिं योगिनां योगदातारं योगमाया समाहृतम् शिवाय नमः शिवाय नमः
At this point also share a little bit about Ashta Vinayaka. There's stories about 8 Ganapatis. So the story about 8 Ganeshas that come and that conquer these 8 different asuras, that is part of the personal experience at the level of Kali Yuga and even denser Dwapar Yuga. Right? So this was as well coming up because a couple questions came up on that. That's why again, to see the nature of the separate self. As long as we move as the separate self, it's simply like a domino effect, right? Because all there is consciousness. There's nobody standing doing it, right? And this is very key to know, because there's so much otherwise angst around that, right? Oh, this is coming up and I feel this and I shouldn't be feeling this. All of that. See, that's how we keep ourselves entangled. And then we try to do. Once we see it as a phenomena, we see, that is the voice of the separate self. When you see from that lens, from the conditioning that is given by the world, that is part of that play, those are the emotions that are going to come up. And when we know we are awareness, right? All these colored waters, whatever there is, means nothing about that which I am. So it's not about freeing ourselves from that. It is observing the nature of the mind to know that I am already free. I am already liberated. Instant liberation. Right? And these emotions, these are imprinted in the body. So that's why they feel very intimate if we have lived at it. Right? Some emotions will be more obvious depending on our whatever experience we have had. Right? Some will be stronger, some won't be stronger. It doesn't matter. Eventually, they're all of them belonging to the same frequency or the vibration of the Kali Yuga and Dwapar Yuga thing. So not to make anything more about it, because the minute we start we see that as a problem and we try to fix it and then we try to engage with it, whatever. And that's, again, there's always only the one divine self. Right? So even that is part of the play if that happens. Right? There's nothing ever going wrong. But if you hear this, and if this resonates, right? So it's the same one divine self speaking to oneself. So no need to engage with any of that. You simply observe that is coming up because the body is releasing it. You're standing steadily. You allow for all of those emotions to come up through the body and all of that.
तेरे बिना मैं आदि स्तुताय कहाँ चला मैं। हे गणराय तेरे बिना मैं आदि स्तुताय कहाँ चला मैं। आकार लेने लगा ख्वाब मेरा, साकार होते रुका ख्वाब मेरा। मेरे अधूरे कार्य सारी निदा दबा कर दे तू पूरे आज सानी दा पा मग सरबनी नमो 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 नमस्ते नमो 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 नमस्ते नमो 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 नमस्ते नमो 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 नमस्ते। गणपति गणेश लंबोदर सोहे भुजाजाल विगदत्त चंद्रमाल लाज लाजे। गणानाम गणपति गणेश लंबोदर सोहे भुजाजाल विगदत्त चंद्रमाल लाज लाजे। ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश ताल ध्रुपद गावे, अति विचित्र गणनाथ आज मृदंग बजावे। जड़ तड़ाट धड़ धड़ जात जनि 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 जड़ तड़ाट जड़ तड़ाट कृपा प्रमाण हो नमो नमो एकदंत शौर्यवंत दीन के सहाय तुम अष्ट नष्ट और दुष्ट दृष्टि के उपाय तुम बुद्धिमान सिद्धिमान सर्वशक्तिमान हो मूल मंत्र एक तेरा नाम जो नमो नमो
So for the body, these points, like the solstices, eclipses, equinoxes, beautiful points like that are like these junctures. That's how I see like these crossroads, right? We're always at a crossroad. The now point is always can be seen as a crossroad, but these points can really be seen where like the quantum field opens up for us. This can be sensed. Just kind of giving you an idea, how critical this phase is. And for us, if we've been exploring this Dakshinayana, or however we may be exploring this, right? This is the sensing of it. August, September, October, November, then of course December, then, right, with the winter solstice, and then the new year. That's at an even more gross level. The more and more timeless we get, there is nothing called the new year or the new anything. Every moment is new. It's the new year.
गिरिनन्दिनि नन्दितमेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दनुते गिरिवरविन्ध्यशिरोधिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति हे सितिकण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरदर्शिनि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि हर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि किल्बिषमोषिणि घोषरते धनुजनि रोषिणि दितिसुतरोषिणि दुर्मदशोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
मदम्ब कदम्ब वन प्रियवासिनि हासरते शिखरि शिरोमणि तुंग हिमालय शृङ्गनि चालय मज्जगते मधु मधुरे मधु कैटभ गञ्जिनि कैटभ भञ्जिनि रासरते